Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I'm Shelby Bomber, and today I'm going to be showing you my top 5 strangest games that I happen to own. And by strange, I mean not really weird or unnerving or just kind of crazy, like Crash Bandicoot or Alice Madness Returns, not like those kind of games. I'm talking strange like I'm surprised they even made a game about this. It's so unnecessary. Why did they even make this game in the first place? And that's what I mean by strange. Uh, and believe me, I have gotten some. I have quite the not collection, but I've got quite the few, and I would love to be showing y'all that today. So not without further ado, before we start into this, I would love it if you would just hit that like button and comment if you'd like to do that and subscribe, because I would really appreciate that. So if at any point you're enjoying this video, be sure to give that a thumbs up. So without further ado, let's dive right into this thing. At number 5, I am just... Another thing I gotta get across before we start. These games, there's honestly not a top 5 to these. They're all just as weird as the other. So it kind of makes it hard to choose. I'm just saying top 5 because it sounds more professional. So without further ado, let's just start at our top number 5. I think this is a good one to start off with. I have four of these, in fact, I have 4 GBA games, one being the Wii one, with one being the Wii, and 4 being Game Boy Advance games, because they just have some crazy games out there. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 5, we have The Three Stooges, the video game, for GBA, for the Game Boy Advanced. Now, I know what you're thinking, why do I even have this in the first place? Well, you have my 3-year-old, 4-year-old self to blame. I loved the Three Stooges when I was 3 and 4 years old. So when I was just walking through a GameStop back in like 2006, 2007, something like that, I was about maybe 5 or so, yeah. They had just giant rack of Game Boy Advance games and used Game Boy Advance games and DS games. They still have that now, I think. But they have the Three Stooges just on display. It was $5. It was used, and I love the Three Stooges. So I was like, and my dad was like, "That's $5, and that's a game price, so might as well get it." So we got it, and it's what may be the worst, either the worst or weirdest game. Heck, it's both. This may be one of the worst games I have ever played in my life. It was insanely complicated. It made no sense. It it was like it was more like how would I put, WarioWare? WarioWare? How it's like y'all have 3 lives and you'll do these crazy micro games just one after the other. It was kind of like that, except they were based on famous Three Stooges episodes, and it was weird. And it was really hard too, believe it or not. At least my WarioWare, at least you could get a good idea, and the graphics make it a little easier to understand. I don't know. But this was weird. I don't know why they even made this game. So going on to the next one. Number 4, we have... this is actually a lot better than the Three Stooges. This actually had a pretty good storyline to it, and I kind of enjoyed it, but it was still just as hard. At number 4, we have Drake and Josh, for the Game Boy Advanced. This was licensed by Viacom and THQ, because I'm pretty sure THQ owns all the Nickelodeon games. Heck, they even licensed it at the top. Nickelodeon, right there. And I know what you're thinking. Why did they make a Drake and Josh Game Boy Advance game? Same with the Three Stooges. I don't know why. They just want some money. It was actually a really fun game. It was just so I could not get past the first level. It was so hard. That or I was just dumb as heck. I was 5 when I played this. So I don't really know much to say about this. The graphics were good. It had, from what I could gather from like the first level, it had a good storyline. It was really challenging. Definitely a million times better than Three Stooges. But I still don't know why I got... oh yeah, I didn't ask for this. I got this for my birthday when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and that's what I don't know, it was used or something. So that's how I had it in the first place. And yeah, that's basically all I got to say about that. So the next one, I don't think I'm going to have to explain much about this. This one is Whack-A-Mole for the Game Boy Advanced. And it's got a used thing on the back too. 2005. Now, I don't know why well, like the Three Stooges game, I also loved Whack-A-Mole. Whack-A-Mole was just was like my favorite game, aside from Mario and all that stuff, when I was like 3 years old. So you have another game that you have my 3 or 4 year old self to blame. I loved Whack-A-Mole, and just like the Three Stooges game, I saw this in the GameStop rack, and I asked my dad to get me. It was probably just as much, $5. It doesn't say that, but this crap's probably cheaper. But I don't need to explain much about this game. It's basically Whack-A-Mole on the Game Boy Advanced, and the graphics are terrible. Music sucked. Oh my gosh. This was made by Activision. Oh my gosh, I just lost all hope in Activision now. I can't believe you, Activision. Why did you even waste your money on a game like this? And I don't need to explain much about this because you're just whacking moles on a Game Boy Advance. That's not hard. So, for our next game, this one we actually played a good bit of this one, believe it or not. I got this on my trip to, I don't know if I got it here where I live or on our trip to Yellowstone when I was like 4 or 3. Yeah, I was 4 when we went to Yellowstone. And I'm pretty sure I got this at a Best Buy while my older brother got a Little League DS game. It was weird. It was like anime-like, but it was just as... I don't even know how to explain. But besides the point. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to talk about is this game right here. Now, this is a board game. It's got 3 games in it. It's got Operation, Mousetrap, and Simon. Now, this is probably the best one we had, because I actually have another one of these, which has like chutes and ladders and stuff and memory. This one was definitely the better one, because I loved Operation, Mousetrap, Simon, 3 games that I happen to really like, board games to be exact. I've had many great memories playing this game, because I remember just, once again, like my 3-year-old self, I loved Operation Mousetrap. I remember going outside and just doing some stuff that probably embarrassed my parents a lot. I tried being like the I actually loved Operation so much. Here's an embarrassing story that probably none of y'all know. When I was about 4 or 3, nah. I don't think y'all should know about it. I think I'll keep that to myself. Mousetrap, Simon. I love games like Simon. They're just great, repetitive, follow the leader games. And it's published by Hasbro. And I know I keep saying it a lot, but this game was just okay. Like, it was great to me. It wasn't weird. It was just board games. There's nothing wrong with that. But it wasn't really known. So I guess that kind of makes it a little strange. It kind of puts it on that list. So, let's put it up again. I think that's pretty much all I have to say, though, because it's basically just board games in the Game Boy Advanced. So let's move on. This leaves us at number 1. I got many crazy stories about this one. Number 1, we have the one and only Hardy Boys: The Hidden Theft video game for the Nintendo Wii. Now, I've had crazy stories about this. In fact, it's also got, I know this is off topic, but it's got Cody Lindley voicing that dude, one of the guys. Huh, who knew? Cody Lindley's got so many better things to be doing. In fact, this was made in like 2008, so this was when he was still famous. But basically, this game was hard. That's all I gotta say. This game was just very awfully animated. The story was... I couldn't expand the story. I didn't know much about the story because the level was so hard I didn't get past the second. The first one was only able to get past because you had a guide. The guide that came with it, back when Wii games used to do that. Back when Nintendo used to do that. It had everything you need to know about how to complete the first level. And then we got there the second one, which was the manor, the little just creepy mansion manor, and we couldn't get anything done. We asked everyone, and this is a mystery game, obviously, if you don't know who the Hardy Boys are. Uh, there's actually a new show on MTV called Catfished, with these two guys, and they are basically the equivalent of the Hardy Boys now. But, that's besides the point. That was actually pretty funny, though. The game was terribly animated. There was no thought put into it. It was made by, published by the Adventure Company, licensed by Nintendo, obviously. And I don't know why we got this. I think it was my older brother. He happened to have it because my older brother loves the Hardy Boys. And I think that's the whole reason we had it in the first place. So, and we just couldn't get far. That's basically all I have to say about the game. It was just way too hard. I could not enjoy it. And I'm surprised they even made a game about the Hardy Boys in the first place. And right now, that were all the games. Let me know down in the comments below what your strange game is. Not like weird, creepy, like Crash Twinsanity or Alice Madness Returns like that, like I just said. But ones like these, like ones like the Hardy Boys. What if you happen to have a game about, like, I don't know, Zack and Cody? Like, comment down in the, thing in the comments below. Sorry, I had a brain fart. And if at any point you enjoy this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, which is basically the same thing. So I don't even know why I said the two. But you know what I'm trying to say. And also, if you happen to want more content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And make sure to do all of that because I would really appreciate it. And I'd love to know what your strange game is. And these are all my games. And I'm Shelby Bomber, signing off. I love you guys.